I think that there's a group of people that could be actually the most objective on the planet. You know who it is? Chase Elliott fans. They're the ones that I want to know from because, be honest with you, they like neither driver. In fact, they probably dislike both. They've got reasons to dislike both. And if you remember Watkins Glen last year, Kyle Larson ran to win the race, ran Chase right off. And there was a lot of bad animus after that race, including from Chase himself, right? So we've all been in that situation, right? We've got drivers that have been on the receiving end, on the giving end, and here it is. I've been curious about, honestly, for the first time in my life, Chase Elliott fans, what do you think? Is it Denny Hamlin? Was he right, or was Kyle Larson right?
Yeah.
Because you don't like neither one of them.
They're neutral on the
one time everything's aligned for them to be neutral.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Because Kyle Larson, here's the thing I wanted to ask you. Denny has always been on the side of Kyle Larson is a very aggressive driver. But for some reason, as me as a viewer, I don't see that aggression as much. But then when you have like Watkins Glen and Fontana when he's running with Chase Elliott and a couple other times, I'm curious if Kyle Larson would have done the same thing that Denny did if the situation was reversed.
Yeah. I think so. I really do. And I don't really have a problem with it. So there's something TJ used to say on the radio when you would get in the position that Denny was in. TJ's line would be, take what you need. And honestly, that's the mentality of the driver in that moment, the spotter, the crew chief, all the crew guys standing on the wall or huddled behind the pit box looking at that TV screen, waiting to see the decision the driver makes. They all want that driver to take what he needs, what he wants. All right, if I owned the race car of either one of those drivers, I'd want them to do what they needed to do, what they had to do to win, right? And so that's I think your opinion of what you saw and what happened depends on what side you're on.
100%.
And what role you play, right?
100%.
Put yourself in the shoes of the crew chief or the mechanics or the engine builder for that 11 car. What are your thoughts, right? Try to truly put yourself in that position. And I would expect you, and rightly so, to have a different opinion being on the other side of that, being in Larson's camp or working on that 5 car, right? I would expect you to be real pissed off.
Right.
And so either way, all of this sells tickets.
Yeah.
Right? We're going through becoming Earnhardt, right? Talking about 1979. And we all know what happened at Daytona in the fight. What we are learning is how that affected all ticket sales throughout the rest of the year. All the way through May, they're outselling every track from the years before. This crescendoed and continued this current, right? And so we know that. Me and you are learning all about that, right? That 1979 season and how that one little spat affected everything. These fans were buying tickets that had never been to a race before. I got to see this. I got to watch NASCAR. Is this what I'm going to see? And so it's absolutely going to have a good positive effect on the next race and beyond. And we've got some storylines. The one other thing too, man, and I just thought about this morning. For the last 2.5 years or however long, Denny's been getting run over and crying about it and not doing nothing.
Oh, yeah.
He's sort of changed a little bit.
Seems like he's doing something now.
Seems like he's doing something, right? And
ever since we started making joke about Denny's list.
My question is that the difference maker in Denny becoming a champion or not? Him changing that mentality in his head and saying, instead of being run over, I'm going to do the running over. Instead of being everybody's punching bag, I'm gonna be the one swinging. Is that change in mentality, which is certainly a different style than we usually see from Denny, is that going to will that make a difference for him this year?
What an interesting question. I couldn't help
because that's everybody's. When you go on Twitter, that's everything you read.
Yeah,
guy ain't never won a championship. Guy ain't never won a championship.
Well, yeah, but there's examples of how doing it either way has produced results. I mean, let's take Martin Truex, for example. Truex is not going to run you dirty, right?
No, he won't.
No, he won't. And you know what? He had a reason and he had an opportunity to get Joey Logano back. I was listening to Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi do this. Joey Logano he'll take what he needs, right? We can say that.
That's what he wants.
And he also can win a championship that way, right? He's done it.
Yeah.
And so, but Truex lost a championship that way.
Yes.
So it is an interesting question that you got there, because is Denny now made a change in mentality to, like, my time's running out. I've tried to be nice. It's funny, even when Denny tries to be nice, it's so funny how it just doesn't work out for him. Like, I texted Travis.
It comes
Rockhold.
off as so condescending when he tries to be nice.
He does. If you were to honestly talk about the thing that I was like, a little cringe on from yesterday, was that, okay, I wish Denny would have actually shown a little bit of remorse, or not even remorse. Remorse is the wrong word, but just a little bit of understanding that there's another side to this coin, and that he might have crossed that line a little bit. He might have. He did not indicate anything, which is what led to Kyle Petty going, people that think they're always right have no remorse.
Yeah.
And so it's quite interesting. I would have liked Denny to done what Kyle Larson did at Watkins Glen last year.
Yeah.
He got out of the car. People were a little iffy on what he did. Was it fair to Chase Elliott? He got out and goes, look, I wouldn't have liked to have done it that way. That I did it. I had the decision to make, and that's what I chose to do to win the race. That's fair, right? Yeah. I wish I hadn't done it, or I wish I had not been in that situation. That's what Kyle Larson did. Denny, not so much.
Yeah.
Denny's like, hey, look, I didn't even hit him. That's like, okay, wait a second. Wait a second.
He did say that.
He had a choice. I mean, Denny, when you cross 47 lanes to get to him in that turn, they could pretty much have a choice.
I can't understand how Denny didn't know he hit him. I guess he just can't feel it in the cars. I don't know. I guess the composite bodies is just, I don't understand how he does not think he hit him.
Yeah, we're recording this on Monday, and we don't get a chance to listen to his podcast. So maybe
I know, just judging by the radio stuff, and he isn't sure. He says, "Did I hit him?" Or he asks a question of his crew chief, Gabe Hart, and Gabe Hart's like, "I told you didn't." So he's getting reinforcement from his people, like, "No, man, believe you didn't hit him because you didn't hit him. I'm telling you didn't hit him." And so he gets out of the car and goes, "Hey, we didn't even touch." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you touched,
exactly.
buddy. How do you not know you touched? How do you not know?"
It's so funny. It goes back to last year, when we debated and disagreed on whether they touched last year.
Yeah, some guy went on Twitter and said that they should all boycott actions detrimental so that we'll cancel his show. How do you think that's going to go?
I just don't think that's going to work.
I don't think so either.
No, I'm not about cancel culture. Sorry, guys.
Well, I can't wait to listen to what he says.
Will
he have a change of heart?
Right. This is all going to come out about the same time. I cannot wait. Will he, and I bet he doesn't, but I do want to know.
You don't think that?
About whether he touched him. I wonder.
I wonder in the comfort of his own home whether he walks it back and says, "Yeah, I see we hit." I'd rather not have done it that way. I feel bad. I hate that for Larson. I want us to be pals. I don't ever want to ruin our opportunities to go to the escape room together and do fun things.
That's what they need to do. They need to go to the escape room.
They already have. They did that a couple years ago.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was like, man, when you're escape room buddies, it's tough. It's tough trying to be friends on the racetrack. So,
holy crap, man. Oh, all right. So did you have everybody wants to know Kyle Petty's strong words afterwards?
I thought he was right. I thought that, I thought it was, it is what it is. It's a dirty move. He gassed up and doors him, right? But it's also the last lap and for the win.
That's it. It's not whether it was a dirty move or not. Everybody can make that opinion. It's whether or not you're okay with it.
But that's the
question.
I agree with Kyle, but I also factor in Kyle's past relationship with Denny. Like I don't know that they are Facebook friends. And you remember years ago, 2007, I think it was, when they got an argument in the garage mid-race.
Physical, right?
Yeah, I think.
Kyle
slapped his visor down.
Right.
So I can't help but not factor that in, right? To all of that. I don't know. I don't disagree with Kyle. I see you don't either by judging by your.
Yeah, I don't think I disagree with him. Yeah, I mean, like, Kyle has his own style of going hard to the hoop. I don't know that I go and dunk all over Denny like Kyle does.
I love that because Kyle's really the one the broadcast needs that guy, right?
100%.
Yeah, and Kyle has no give a like
zero.
When
hey, listen, we used to be mad at him.
Yeah,
back when you were a driver.
Yeah.
I mean, he said some pretty egregious things about you, and you know what? I don't think he still cares about that either.
No, he don't care. He's gonna say what he thinks. He's gonna say he believes it, he feels it, and he's gonna lay it all out there, and he has no problem. I admired it.
How was the
because he's talking to millions of people.
How
saying
is
these things?
The conversation with all you booth guys on the way home? Did you guys just talk about this all the way back?
Not really. I think we were happy about the job we did and happy about the race being, I think we all were not so analytical about the moment and the moves and the decision by the drivers, but so much more like, hey man, how about these last handful of races? How badass is this? How can we sustain this, right? Keep this going. Hopefully the racing continues to be compelling. Hey, if you like that video, like and comment below, and don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss another piece of Dirty Mo Media content.